Bernie, something about millionaires and billionaires.
All right. We'll take that one. 2 out of 3.
That one's not bad?
Not bad.
This is Bernie Sanders. 4 years ago, the Vermont politician went from a relatively fringe senator to political rock star, going head-to-head with Hillary Clinton in a brutal primary season. He eventually lost, but the race was a tight one. In many ways, Bernie is the Democrats' Trump, a populist who appeals to white, working-class voters. Sure, he ain't getting any younger, but America's youth is on his side. Could that huge groundswell of millennial support he attracted in 2016 mean Democrats could feel the burn again in 2020? Bernie Sanders was born on September 8, 1941 in Brooklyn, New York. His parents were Jewish immigrants from Europe, and in the 1940s, many of Sanders' relatives in German-occupied Poland were killed in the Holocaust. Sanders studied at Brooklyn College for a year before transferring to the University of Chicago and graduating with a degree in political science. While at university, he joined the Young People's Socialist League and became heavily involved in civil rights activism. He was a pacifist active in the anti-war movement, and though his application for conscientious objector status during the Vietnam War was rejected, he was too old to be drafted anyway. In 1968, Sanders moved to Vermont, where he worked a variety of jobs, including carpenter, filmmaker, and writer. He unsuccessfully ran for the Senate in 1972 and 1974, and for governor in 1976, all as a member of the Liberty Union Party. He left that party in 1977. Sanders was finally elected to political office in 1980, when he successfully ran as an independent for mayor of Burlington, Vermont, beating the Democratic incumbent by just 10 votes. During his 8-year reign, he was ranked as one of America's best mayors. He also hosted a public access TV program called Bernie Speaks with the Community.
Arnie, say hello to the camera. Your name is?
Arnie Griggs.
Okay, and you live in Burlington?
Yes.
Okay, and when did you catch this?
About an hour ago.
That is...
It's out of Shelburne Bay. Good spot to go.
You're going to weigh it in a moment.
Yep.
And if the dog doesn't eat it first...
The dog doesn't get it.
Right. The truth of the matter is that 5 years ago, this park was a place that many families and kids did not go to, because there really was a rather bad element that hung out here. On one hand, one wants to make certain that all facilities are open to all people. On the other hand, you also want to make sure that people, elderly people, for example, people with kids, feel comfortable and utilize the facility that was meant for them as well. And drawing that balance is difficult, but it's never easy. It's never easy. Okay, thanks for chatting with you. Thank you.
In 1987, he collaborated with 30 Vermont musicians to record a folk album called We Shall Overcome.
Freedom, dignity, the willingness to stand up against the mighty and the powerful, the human spirit, strong, resilient, alive, passed on like a torch from one person to another, from one generation to another, from one nation to another.
In 1990, Sanders became the first independent elected to Congress in 40 years, serving until 2007 when he became a senator. In 2010, he delivered an 8.5-hour filibuster against extending Bush-era tax rates.
It seems to me to be unconscionable for my conservative friends and for everybody else in this country to be driving up this already too high national debt by giving tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires who don't need it, and in a number of cases, Mr. President, don't even want it.
His attempts didn't succeed, but they did gain him attention, with some calling on him to run for president in 2012. He ultimately decided to run in 2016 instead, where he rapidly went from long shot to serious contender after a string of primary successes.
Thank you, New Hampshire. And now it's on to Nevada, South Carolina, and beyond.
His campaign defied the odds in numerous ways. First, he relied on small individual donations rather than wealthy donors. He also gained a huge grassroots following online through social media. Despite winning 22 states and receiving 13 million votes, he ultimately lost out to Hillary Clinton for the Democratic nomination.
My campaign is powered by over 1 million small contributions. People like you who want to fight back.
This little bird doesn't know it. Oh my.
The difference between now and then is that Sanders is not quite the outsider he used to be. It's a testament to his success that many of the once radical-seeming positions, such as Medicare for all and a $15 minimum wage, have become normalized. So what are Bernie's chances of securing the nomination in 2020? He certainly has name recognition in his favor. He also has a passionate grassroots support base and can draw upon millions of people who want to see a more progressive Democratic candidate running for president. His last run changed the game, pulling the party to the left and introducing democratic socialism to America. And if you think that was just a flash in the pan, Sanders will feel vindicated by the 2018 midterms, where a number of progressive candidates like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez triumphed. The landscape has certainly changed for the Democrats, but has it changed enough for Bernie to win? In 2016, Sanders had the youth vote and the working class on his side, but couldn't convince moderates, older people, and African Americans to vote for him. Will that be any different this time around? Another problem he faces is age. At 77, he would be the oldest president ever elected if he succeeded in 2020. A number of Sanders staffers are already looking at fresher faces who could pick up the mantle, suggesting someone like Beto O'Rourke or Kamala Harris might be a better progressive, non-establishment pick. Just like in 2016, the Democrats seem likely to be torn between choosing an establishment pick and someone a bit more radical.